Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to the Market Recap. I'm Dan Hodgman. It is Wednesday, May 5th. I hope you guys have all had a great day. Good opportunity in these markets. Settlement price comes back into play for us, something we've been waiting for. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. We saw settlement come into play in a couple of these markets here. Crude oil opens up, works around that overnight high, cannot accept up above. Something we talk about. Check out overnight highs, prior day highs, two levels we love to look at if the market's up above, and it cannot find buyers, breaks right down to settlement price and right through settlement price. So some good opportunity there to pick up 70 cents to $1. S&P 500 opens up just like crude oil at those overnight highs, breaks down to settlement price, rallies back up, and gives us another break to settlement price. Same thing goes for the NASDAQ. Gold opens up, blows through settlement price. Remember, settle can be one of two things. It's going to be a springboard, right? So the market comes down to it, hits, and bounces back up, or vice versa. It comes up to it, hits, and bounces right back to where it came from. Or it can be an accelerant. So as that market starts to approach settlement price, it can accelerate the market in that same direction. It's our job as traders, discretionary traders, to start to pay attention to watch how that market's reaction. How are orders coming in? What are the fills we're seeing? Are we seeing more buys? Is this going to push the market higher, or is it going to push the market lower? We recognize that. Those are things that just take some screen time. It's not the most teachable moment. It's something we just really have to learn to watch. Euro opened up this morning at settlement price and broke down, not quite to, but almost there to overnight lows. And the 10-year note opens up below settlement price, away from the price, rallies up to settlement price, kind of starts to hit that wall a little bit, and then from there accelerated right through. Some good opportunities across the board. No major news here today. Interesting enough, Peloton's recalling all of their treadmills after reports of injuries and deaths. So if you've got a Peloton treadmill, it is recalled. Get your new one. Get it fixed, whatever they're doing. Here's another interesting breaking news that just came through. Moderna says COVID booster shots generate promising immune response against variants. That's good news there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these charts here, see what we've got going on here today. I do want to say hello to everybody. Norman, good to see you. Tanya and Greg. No sound. Well, Tanya, hopefully you have my sound. It's showing over here. Norman, finally seeing the opportunities you talk about, made $15K today. Hell yeah, Norman. That warms me. Makes me feel good. We're doing something right here. Congratulations. That's a huge day. Astronomical numbers. Really, really excited for you. I'm really excited for you. That's really huge. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at these charts and see if we can find some of those opportunities that Norman was looking at here today. And PD, good to see you. Tanya, now I don't know if you're joking. Are you just yanking my chain? Sound good. Sound is good. You guys all hear? I think Tanya's just yanking my chain. All right, let's go ahead and start with crude oil here. So we saw in the overnight session, we started to hit this wall right up by 66.60. So we saw it last night. Market came up to it, broke down. Saw it again. Came up, broke down. Opens up right there. Great opportunity. Great opportunity. Often open, right? We start to see this market open up, and we're instantly thinking, where can this go? Well, we're in territories we have not seen much trading in a long time in this market. We do have ideas down below. We've got a lot calling our attention down below here. You can call the range from settlement price down here at 65, 69 up to maybe yesterday's regular trading hour high right up at 65, 80. See, there's a lot down there for us to look for an opportunity. Now, this is a perfect setup in my opinion. We're right here. We're looking at this. Are we going to put our stop right at 67 if we're going to get in at 60? Let's say we get in at 60. We know we've got targets, and if we're going to go to the high side of the target, we're looking at 65.80. We know we have a solid 80 cents in that move. If we're looking at 80 cents, it's $800 a contract. You should be comfortable to open that risk up, giving yourself, I don't think you need 40 cents. That to me says this market's going to move in the other direction, but that 20-cent risk, again, risk needs to be determined by where you're entering, where those points of invalidation are. This is a somewhat elastic market, so you want to give a little room there, and then you know where your profits are. If you do have a quality 80-cent target on a high probability setup, market opens up away from settlement price. First thing we're looking for is a return to settlement price. And that's what we did. So we've got a high probability setup. We can take a little bit of risk in the trade to ensure we're giving ourselves the best opportunity possible. May have gotten a little sketchy. 9:30 this morning, what do we have? Well, we had EAA come out. So there are some hesitation. There's some sketchiness there, but we're able to sit in this trade relatively comfortable. We can run this thing right down to settlement price. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. Just like crude oil opens up near those overnight highs. Same setup right here. Same thing we're looking at. This is right where the market started to break in the overnight yesterday. Great opportunity to look for our target down below. Boom. Settlement price down here, 41.58 quarter. Again, great opportunity for a short. And then you can cannonball this trade if you want. I'm going to be a little hesitant to cannonball it. I'm going to wait for my next opportunity, maybe to catch the short up above. But you could have looked for that cannonball, aka where you completely rotate your position and you get long at settlement price and you use settlement as a springboard. I'm going to be hesitant to take that second trade on the long. I'm going to probably be holding out there. Not realistic for me to cannonball trade, just not something within my strategy. Next, we'll go ahead and look at the NASDAQ. Just like the other two, we open up right near those overnight highs. We press a little bit higher right at the sign of the break where the consolidation was yesterday. We come right to it off the open and market breaks right on down to settlement price, 13,536 even. Another beautiful opportunity towards settlement price. Market rallied once again, and again we continue to break, and this market showing a little bit more weakness versus the S&P 500. We know tech stocks have been taking a little bit of hit. Next, the gold market opens up, and yeah, we opened up below settlement price. We moved through it. We continued higher. So what are we looking for here? Well, this is a tough open. I'm going to be waiting probably until that equity open right around 8:30 to see what equities are doing. Equities make that initial move right down to settlement price. So to me, I'm thinking, all right, money may be coming out of there. Maybe we'll get a little bit of life here in the gold. Where am I looking for the long? That's the tough part. It was a difficult entry point in this trade. I'm starting to probably think I'm looking long right near the overnight high and saying, let's see if I can get this thing to continue in the direction it went. It did. It was a slow day. We're not seeing insane profits in that, but still a quality couple $100 that we can make on a trade like that. All right, next, let's go ahead and look at the euro. Like I said, euro opened up this morning at settlement price. We saw it reject it prior to the open. Why not look to use settlement as some sort of rejection? I think that's a pretty easy play. Settlement price can be one of two things, entries or exits. You can look for a nice entry point. We opened up at settles. Where can I get this thing to run to? I'm going to look to see if it can get near overnight lows. We never made it all the way down there, and we got a little bit closer. We made another attempt at the end of the day, but we start to recognize if we hold this trade, trying to get it to extend lower, we rallied right back to settlement price where we got in. In my opinion, still a very valid trade, right? Reason for getting in at settlement price is still the same here because settles is going to be one of two things, that springboard, and that's what we're looking for here. That's why we got in here. So it's the same validation to get in this trade. We could have stayed in it, watched it come down once again, and that's where we have to use our discretion to say, hey, this thing doesn't really want to push any lower. We're getting right near that low after we opened up. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this trade. And next, let's go ahead and look at the 10-year note, which we got a little bit of life here. Market opened up well away from settlement price. Here's what's catching my eye. We came right down to the prior swing low in this market. Those are hugely visual points. Those are things that we want to be keeping an eye on. I know we talk about a lot of different levels and areas to be looking at. Overnight highs and lows, prior day highs and lows, weekly high, prior week high and low, value area high and low, points of control and settlement price. I know it's a lot, but they're all areas you want to keep an eye on. With those said, we also want to be keeping an eye on prior swing highs and prior swing lows. Great areas to look for opportunity. Market came right down to that swing low. We opened up, and finally, great opportunity to say, you know what? I'm looking for some support here, and I'm looking to run to settlement price. So we're down here. Let's just call it 30. Let's just call it 3205, 3206. We're looking for an opportunity here, and we're looking to see if this market can get all the way up to settlement price, a solid 12, 13 ticks there. We can give ourselves a little bit of risk, and we've got that 200 period simple moving average. The market, we could have put our stop on the other side, risking just a little bit, about 4 ticks, to make a nice profit in this trade. Well, we continued right through settlement price. Like I said, it can be a springboard or an accelerant. It accelerated through, and we came all the way up. We extended both sides of yesterday's value area to yesterday's value area high. Great opportunity in this market here today. So those are our markets here today. Hope you guys all had a great one. Sean, good to see you. Tanya, glad we got sound back for you. Norman, I'm just proud to see you post a 15K day. Really excited for you, and hopefully some of the things we do talk about help all of you guys out. That's the whole point of this. Not every one of these trades is to be taken. Not every one of these levels that we talk about are going to be opportunistic every day. The key is, we talked about this yesterday, settlement price. One of my go-to trades off the open. Does the market move to settlement price? That's the first thing I'm looking at. That's what I want every day. I love that trade. Yesterday proved in all the markets that it didn't work. Today, that flipped. It worked in most of these. And we really laid out that crude oil trade. We had 80 cents. We didn't need to risk 40 to get in that, but a solid 20 cents to make 80 cents, I'd say that's pretty darn good. Your risk is 1, your reward is 4. Those are types of trades that we want to find as traders. That's what sets us up for long-term success. So we do that yesterday. And let's just use that as a simple example. Let's say we've talked to, because I wasn't here Monday, but the last 2 days, we would have taken a loss on it yesterday. We got a profit on it today. We would have lost 20 cents yesterday, so we're down $200 per contract. Today we get in, we made 800. So we're 800 up per contract today, 200 down yesterday, solid $600 over 2 days. Those are some numbers I can get behind as a trader. And that makes it scalable. I know a lot of people are asking all the time, I want bigger size. I want those bigger dollars. We got to start small, right? If we can start to create this consistency and prove within our trading that these trades are working, these setups are presenting opportunity for us, and we're figuring them out, because part of the battle is understanding not to get in, right? Just because we're away does not mean we have to be in. The market's away from settles. Does not mean we have to be in on the open to run it down. It's recognizing, hey, what's happening on this open? What do we have going on today? What's our news here today? There's a lot that can be encompassed within that. And those are things that we want to be thinking about, right? And so if we can generate every 2 days $600 per contract, that's $300 winnings per day, approximately 200 trade days a year. That's $60,000 in a year, right? And we're tallying losses with this, right? Because we got the loss yesterday, get the win today. To walk away with an average day of up 300, a lot of people think that that's not that great. Well, that's $60,000 a year. That, if you can start to do it, is scalable, right? And just like anything in business, we want to find ways to be scalable. How do we scale a business? Well, we got to start to implement other things. We got to start to look, from a business standpoint. How do we automate certain things? There's so many things out there. Trading, it's pretty simple. To scale my strategy is to prove I have a successful strategy that can profit. That's what we're looking for. Once I've proven that profitability, then I can start to scale. And the best part about trading, it's not like business. Best part about trading is when you go from 1 to 2, that 60,000 turns into 120,000. You do that, you start to create that consistency. You start to create the profits. Now, you don't want to get them into your head that that's an expectation, right? We don't want to have how much money we're going to make as an expectation. We want to stick to the consistent plan, that strategy that we've proven that's worked. Some days it won't and some days it will, but we know over time that's a successful strategy. If we can continue to prove that, we can then turn that 120 into an 180 to 240. All because we started with trading one lots, one simple trade, making $300 a day. That's how we grow as traders. It's such a common question I get asked, Dan, how do I become a $100,000 a year trader? You have to start small. You can't rush into it. That's the key when it comes to trading. It's not like a job where every year you're going to get your raise and you get your bonus, once or twice a year, or you get your quarterly bonuses based on your sales. It's not how trading's going to work. It's an inconsistent career. But how do we create consistency in it? We trade the same. Some weeks it's going to pay. Some weeks we're going to take a little bit of a pain. We're going to struggle a little bit. We want to balance those things. If we can start to balance those things, we can start to figure it out, that's when we're going to start to make money doing this. But it's not about the money. So that's what you're thinking on a given day when you're sitting down, how much money I'm going to make today. I'm going to tell you right now, walk away, you are done. It's going to be more detrimental. If you sit down and think, all right, what's my strategy today? The markets I'm trading, where are they? And how do my trades, my setups look today? Well, if we're opening up away, we've got opportunity, and that's the key here, right? We've talked about that same trade every day. Market opens up away from settlement price, and it runs right to it. I ask you guys, when we talk about it, how often does it work? It works, I don't know the percentage, 75% of the time. Try it. Look into it, Get it on paper. Sit down every day. If you're not ready to take that trade, sit down and start to track it at the end of every day. If I got in with the market off the open, if I got in, what was my risk versus what was my reward of that the heat I actually would have taken, like crude oil today, I think rallied up to 76, so that was 16 cents from 60. Settlement price down at 65, 69. Good trade there. So we're looking at, like I said, about 80 cents. 90 cents. Really good trade. Start to do it. Start to track it. And you'll start to see, wow, this is a really profitable. Taking one trade in the day can be extremely profitable. I don't trade 10, 15 trades in a day. Big day is 2 or 3 trades for me. If I can get my one solid trade in and I can lock in some profits, I'm a content guy on that. And I think that's what we all want to be. All right. My soapbox is over. Let's take a look at what we got going on elsewhere. Micro Bitcoins, they are still trading. Yesterday we had a great day, right around 22,000 contracts. Today, a little bit less, 9,000. I have been doing some testing in it. To be completely honest with you, it's just not tradable quite yet. Spread right now is relatively large. I have a test trade on because I'm trying to feel it out to see if this is tradable yet. Not quite. It's not trading just because the market's moving. It's not filling orders yet. We're a little thicker off the open. We die out pretty quickly. So it's getting there. I think it's going to take some time before this is really a tradable market. Right now, I'm testing with it. I'm messing with it to see what happens. Last trade right now was $56,865. Bid and offer is $100 up above that. So there's still a lot of room. Excuse me, $500 up above that. So still a lot of room. It's not trading, but the market's showing higher. You know what I mean? So we're not there quite yet, but hopefully we can start to see some more volume coming in on that. But so Bitcoin, 56,865. So nice $22,000 in our buy there. And let's just run into Airbnb really quick, see how we're doing on that stock. Down or up a little bit here. I'm looking at a monthly. 6 month. Down a little bit here today. We are down $162 on that one. Tesla, $670.94. And the VIX spikes a little bit today. We're now holding up above that 17. We're at 19. I think 20 is kind of that benchmark for me that I'm going to keep watching. GameStop, another down day for it here today, $159. Those of you that are long from 40s when it broke back down off the open, maybe it's time to lock in a little bit of profit here. Take some off the table and put some cash in the pocket. Rates, all of them are down a little bit. Makes kind of sense. 10-year, 19 basis points, 30-year, 2. So maybe now we're starting to make sense, right? If yields are down, stocks are down, bonds should go up. Adds up pretty nicely there. Tomorrow, jobs claim 7:30 a.m. Central Time, as well as productivity and costs, natural gas 9:30 a.m. Central Time. And again, don't forget Friday, 7:30 a.m. Central Time, unemployment numbers are coming out. Make sure you check on those. Economy seems to be opening up, but I'm hearing a lot of businesses are struggling to hire. So let's keep an eye on those numbers. And earnings, for some reason, I'm having a hell of a time to get my earnings charts. Here we go. It just uploaded instantly. Tomorrow. Or not. Waiting. Here we go. Anheuser-Busch comes out tomorrow. My brother used to work for them. Volkswagen tomorrow. Square tomorrow. Nintendo. All right, so we got a lot coming out, but those are some of the big ones that are coming out tomorrow. All right, and lastly, this date in history, this one's kind of cool. On this day, 1961, Alan Shepard becomes the first ever American in space. His suborbital flight lasted 15 minutes, which reached a height of 116 miles into the atmosphere. Major triumph for NASA. That's kind of cool. And then for those of you out there that are into the, the fancy high-end stuff, 1921, Chanel No. 5 perfume launched. So 1921. All right. Greg, thanks. I learned from the repetition of the concepts. I can clearly see what I did right and wrong. I love hearing that. And, all right, Norman, sounds great. Greg, sometimes I get on my soapbox and I just got to go on the tangent. So, guys, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and sign it out. John will be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. So I hope you guys all have a spectacular evening. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Trade smart and trade well.